Tip over on the sun.
Well, good evening, members of council, members of our management team. I'd like to welcome Councillor Laura Aylward that's visiting us via technology, Zoom. Welcome to the meeting. Laura, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank
That's
you.
good. I'd also like to welcome attendees that have zoomed in via electronic media. Welcome to our public meeting of council this November 17, 2022. It kind of feels like it's really not the fall, it's really winter because we're starting to get some snow, but let's hope that it doesn't stay around. I shouldn't be saying that if there's snow.
It's not staying.
But
Mhm.
so I would ask a member of council to move that the agenda be adopted as circulated. Moved by Councillor Tracy Bowen, seconder. Second by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We also have one of our councillors that couldn't make it tonight, Councillor Lenny Tiller, so we do have a quorum plus one, so we're good to go. The minutes of November 3rd, 2 weeks ago, were circulated by our town clerk, Jennifer Brake. I would ask the member of council to move that those minutes be adopted and approved.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, seconder. Second, Councillor Tracy Boland, all in favor.
Aye.
Motion carried. Are there any matters arising from those minutes? Okay, I just want to say that we're going to be signing proclamation for the Purple Ribbon Campaign for Activism Against Gender-Based Violence, which will be from November 25th to December 10th, 2022, and also recognizing International Day of Persons with Disabilities, December 3rd, 2022. I got to say, these are two very, very important campaigns. The Purple Ribbon Campaign has actually demonstrated the need that violence has no place in our society. And as a council and as groups in our region, community groups, community leaders at all levels of government, working with our enforcement, we have to do everything that we can possible to mitigate these acts of violence based on gender base. Also, for people with disabilities, we have come a long ways as a society. The Charter of Rights in Canada is enshrined in our country as a recognition that the Charter of Rights supports people from discrimination, from everything from ethnicity. I have a problem with that word, so you're really good at words.
Ethnicity.
You got it right there. Thanks for backing me up,
Beautiful.
Deputy Mayor.
No problem.
You know, people with disabilities, Aboriginal groups, women, and so forth. So we are very fortunate to live in a country where we are working towards equity, but we still have a long ways to go. Don't forget that still women in Canada are paid at a lower rate in some occupations compared to men. That's a scary thought, but we're there. So on that note, I'm going to turn it over to our Finance Committee, item number 5.1, and I'll turn it over to our Chair of Finance, Councillor Myra White. Take it away.
Hi, good evening, everyone. The Finance Committee met on November 14th, 2022, and the following items were recommended for council approval. Water and Sewer, requesting approval for water and sewer tax adjustments in the amount of $1,343.03. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, seconder.
Second?
Second by Councillor Laura Aylward. Not often somebody zooming in gets to jump. There's always a bit of a delay.
I was gonna give
Tristan almost
third.
had.
Almost
I almost got
We're
there.
going to get to Councillor Laura Aylward, so all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Number 2, request for scholarships, Stephenville High School, requesting approval to provide a sponsorship in the amount of $500 to the Stephenville High School for Michael Tobin Memorial Scholarship. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, seconder.
I'll second that.
Second, Councillor Tracy. Well, I'd like to just say something about, often think about Councillor Mike Tobin, and I got to say, he really enjoyed being a councilman. I
He
mean,
certainly
really.
did.
And there was a very interesting, we just lost our screen there. Just a moment. Oh, I'll adjourn the meeting for a moment in case we get signed up again here. That's the first time that's ever happened, Jennifer?
The joy of technology.
First time since I've been here.
Dora not feeling good. She got a cold or?
Extraction.
Oh, she had an extraction.
I have said,
Okay, I saw the tissue. I was like,
emergency it was.
yeah.
I told them.
I believe
Can
it's
you-
still live,
Oh, we're still
Okay.
live? Okay, so.
just
we
no
just-
video.
Oh, yeah, okay, there we go.
Okay, we do apologize for the technical difficulties that we've had here, but we're back live stream again
Just
at our
getting my
public meeting.
commercial in too.
It is 7:06, but I just wanted to say, when we had our World Energy Summit with G7 leaders, Chancellor Schultz and our Prime Minister, that very historical day here in Stephenville, Newfoundland, Mike Tobin's daughter Annette was part of the delegation that arrived 2 weeks prior. And they did a lot of protocols on the event and logistics and so forth. And she was saying, I think to Colin and myself, that, you know, her father would have been so proud to have witnessed what we witnessed. And we're so fortunate as a counselor, as council, that in our community, that we witnessed what had happened in Stephenville, Newfoundland, because, you know, this was historical. And it's interesting, just tonight, the German ambassador Sabine Sparswasser was on CBC. And she was in St. John's meeting with the Premier about the energy deal. And she spoke about Stephenville several times in her interview. And one thing she was saying that the German delegation was so impressed with was when Chief Brendan Mitchell spoke and said, you know, we're behind this deal as an Indigenous group and an Indigenous nation. And we're tired of our families having to leave and go to work, leave their families. And here's an opportunity for families to be together and stay at home. So she said that they were really moved, the delegation, the German Chancellor, and that to come here and hear that. So it just goes to show that we're still in the world news. We're still on the world media. This is a world event, and we're on the world stage. So to Annette, I'm sure Councillor Mike Tobin is up there looking down at us saying, way to go, Stephenville, Stephenville strong. Okay, item number 3 is all yours here, Councillor White.
Thank you.
Oh, we didn't vote, did we?
Did we
All in
vote?
favor?
All in favor? Oh, sorry.
Aye.
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 Thanks for keeping me on track, Jennifer. I'm sometimes, you know, hard to stay on the rails, eh?
Okay. We'll move right along.
Okay.
Number 3, a request for grant to the YMCA, requesting approval to provide a grant in the amount of $60,000 to the YMCA for operations. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Meyer White, seconder. Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Bell. I just want to say to you, you know, the YMCA plays a great service in our community. And I know the after-school programs for young families, potentially maybe looking at daycare opportunities. And if we're going to be attracting young families to work in the hydrogen and the wind energy deal, we have to have those services in place. That's very, very important for young families, especially really, really important for single parent families, which are more prevalent now than ever was. You know, so having a signature association or entity such as the Y in our town, it's the YMCA is known worldwide. So we're very privileged and thankful that we have them. So could I do a first and a second?
Yes,
Yeah.
but not.
Like I keep wanting to talk, like I'm losing control. I might have to turn it over to
You
you.
have been here, see, for a couple
Well,
of
I'm
meetings.
going to
You're
I
getting
missed a
excited.
couple of meetings, say, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 4, Christmas Adventure Budget Allocation for 2022. Requesting approval to allocate $10,000 for the Christmas Adventure on Main Street for 2022. I so move.
Moved by
Second.
Councilor White, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Aylward. I'm just wondering, Tracy, do you just want to speak a little bit about Christmas Adventure on Main Street, some of the changes? And I think one of the plans is with the costing, that some of the product that's going to be purchased this time could be used for the summer events and so forth. So I wonder if you could just brief us a little bit on that.
Yeah, so we're looking at, whatever we do purchase for the Christmas Adventure this year, we are going to use it for the summer events. So it's definitely stuff that we can use going forward, and it's a good investment and to build on our adventure every year.
And I guess we do some events, whether it's a car show or signature events that we're looking at, but I'm even thinking when we have events at the Dome, that could be utilized, whether you're having music fest or something, anything that kind of stands out, increases the aesthetics and stuff like that.
Yeah, we want to make sure it's something that we can use in the future as well in future events.
Because I do know last year we purchased a bunch of Christmas trees, and we had a pretty significant winter storm that night or the day after, and with plowing, we had a bit of damage. But this stuff probably wouldn't be damaged because it's going to be off the ground.
Right.
Yeah, so lessons learned for us too, it was our only second time doing it. This will be our third. I can't call it an annual because we missed 2 years or 1 year. 1 year. this year?
2.
I guess 2, yeah.
Yeah, because of COVID. Okay, so great work there. So we have a motion, the seconder, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 5 is a grant to the Emergency Food Service. Requesting approval to give a donation to the Emergency Food Services in the amount of $5,000. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
I'll second it.
Councilor Tracy Boland. Just want to say that there's a lot of companies, a lot of individuals that do request emergency food services. And we're kicking in 5,000, but we actually are going to be writing our 2 most neighboring communities, which is Steamboat Crossing and the town of Kippens. And based on the ratio of population that we're spending 5,000, we're going to kind of prorate it and say, could they kick in? Because a lot of their residents, not a lot, but some of their residents, just like some of ours, utilize the Steamboat Food Bank and their neighboring communities, and I feel that they should be supporting this initiative also. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Is there anything late, Councilor White?
No, not that anyone has told me.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that. I was short and sweet. I hadn't made it go a little long, but we had that little technical interruption there, but.
Tom, yes, I am short and sweet. Thank you. I'll acknowledge that.
Duly noted. Okay, 5.2, I'm going to hand this over to Councilor Tristan Yulin. Normally, Councilor Laura Aylward handles it, but because she's on Zoom, it's a little bit more technically challenging at times. So I'll turn it over to Councilor Tristan Yulin.
All right, thank you very much. So for the planning and traffic, met on the 14th of November, 2022, and the following items were recommended for council approval. So item A, 136 to 138 Main Street, Salt Life Marine and Industrial Supplies Limited. Requesting approval to issue a permit to operate a marine and industrial supply store and erect signage on the building located at 136 to 138 Main Street, subject to compliance with all town regulations and approval of Service NL. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Yulin, seconder.
Second.
Second, Councilor Tracy Boland. She got ahead of you there.
Sorry.
Because I got a good view from where I'm sitting, thanks to Laura, not Laura, but Susan kind of getting me to change positions, that when somebody moves their hand, I'm ready. I got good peripheral vision too, by the way, just saying, like Wayne Gretzky now, but pretty good. I just want to say to you that it's nice to see a new company moving into Stephenville.
Definitely.
No doubt, I think we're going to see a lot of tertiary companies moving in because of the economic growth that's going to be happening in Steveville. Remember, I can't say it enough, it sounds so good, a $12 billion investment of private sector capital on the world stage, moving in with 15 partner companies. But our port and our airport's going to get busy. And this is a company that maybe because they, are looking down the road to see the demand for safety and supply in the marine and industrial supply area, there could be a good market for them. So we wish them all the best and look forward to welcoming them to Steveville. On that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item B, 151 Connecticut Drive, Waits Construction Limited. Requesting approval to issue a permit to replace 70 feet by 70 feet section of concrete in the building on the property located at 151 Connecticut Drive, subject to compliance with all town regulations and approval of Service NL. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Tristan Yulin, second. Second by Councillor Myra White, all in favor?
Oh,
Aye.
aye.
Motion carried.
Item C, request to erect signage, the Yellow Butterfly Airbnb. Requesting approval to issue a permit to erect 4-foot by 8-foot business signs along entrance of Carolina Avenue and Minnesota Drive, as per sketch submitted, subject to compliance with all town regulations. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Tristan Yulin, second.
Second?
Second, Councillor Laura Aylward. I just want to say, I really like the name.
Yeah,
All in
sketch.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item D, 90 to 94 Queen Street, Dr. A. Skinner Dental Clinic, Inc. Requesting approval to issue a permit to change ownership and continue to operate the existing dental clinic at the property located at 90 to 94 Queen Street, subject to compliance with all town regulations and approval of Service NL. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Tristan Yulin, second.
Second.
Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Fowler.
Sorry, Mike. Beat you.
Okay.
Do it all in favor now?
All in favor?
Did we get on?
No.
Wow.
Getting rusty, boy.
I tell you what. The all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. You guys are good. You got the system down, Doc. Maybe I'm just testing you guys on. Well, not really.
Yeah. Item E, 141 to 147 Main Street, Jazzy Nails. Requesting approval to issue a permit to operate a nail technician business from the space in the building located at 141 to 147 Main Street, subject to compliance with all town regulations and approval of Service NL. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Tristan Yulin, second by Councillor Tracy Boland. All in favor?
Aye.
Guys, all the way around.
Great.
Motion carried.
Item F, 54 Prince Rupert Drive, Cam Peters Holdings LTD. Requesting approval to issue a permit to change the ownership of the existing Canadian Tire business on property located at 54 Prince Rupert Drive, subject to compliance with all town regulations. I so move.
By Councillor Tristan Yulin, second.
Second?
Second, Deputy Mayor Susan Fowler. Just before I call for the vote, I just want to say Canadian Tire, 43% of Canadians shop at Canadian Tire.
Really?
Yep,
Oh.
That's pretty impressive.
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I like it.
So,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. That wasn't a paid advertising or nothing
No.
either.
sure everybody can agree.
Yeah.
Item G, 111 Main Street, Rude Awakening. Requesting approval to issue a permit to complete interior renovations to operate the coffee shop business and erect business sign on the building located at 111 Main Street, subject to compliance with all town regulations and approval of Service NL. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Tristan Yulin, second Councillor White. Just want to say this is a company out of Cornerbrook that's setting up an establishment here in Stephenville, and it's nice to see I've been in the corner to their coffee shop, and I think they have fresh roasted, they do their own beans and stuff like that, so it's so welcome. We just had one coffee shop that closed in Stephenville, so this is a nice replacement.
It is.
And, I think the location is gonna do very well because of its location next to the town square, King Court, not King Court, King Square, Kinsman Square. And I think it's gonna work pretty good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item H, Christmas Adventure Event, Main Street. Requesting permission to close Main Street to vehicular traffic from King Square to Grove Street on December 17th from 6 o'clock PM to 9 o'clock PM. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Yulin, seconder.
Second.
Second Deputy Mayor Susan Vallow. I'd like to be able to put a little addition to that motion if I could, to ask for some really nice weather that night. I don't know.
That's a new motion.
Yeah, I'll second that, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think it's gonna happen anyway.
Okay,
That's every other year.
okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion.
Item I, 200 Massachusetts Drive, Harmon Seaside Links Extension of Lease Agreement. Requesting approval that the mayor and town manager be authorized to sign a 1-year extension on the current lease agreement with Harmon Seaside Links. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Tristan Yulin, seconder.
Second.
Second.
Councilor Myra White, Councilor Aylward, she just got ahead of you there. I'd just like to say it's, our Harmon Seaside Links has gone through a lot of history from being built by the U.S. Air Force Base, originally a 9-hole. And I do believe, Councilor Aylward, when your son was the MHA, it got the expansion to 18 holes, the additional 9 holes. Little history on it. First 9 holes kind of favored a left-handed because the base commander was a lefty. So, but this was a 50-year lease. And now it's due from the management and what's happening with expansion in the town now, opportunities that may come with corporate investment. We felt it would be to our best interest and the club's best interest to just look at 1-year extensions to see where the future of this golf course is going. I really believe that with the growth of Stephenville, that this golf course may be worthy of signature capital investment to turn it into a world-class links course because of the activity of economics, but also because of its adjacency with the airport. Over in Nova Scotia at Inverness, there was a world-class golf course built and it done very, very well. And the airport was an hour and a half away in Port Hawkesbury. And that airport done very, very well, still does very well with corporate traffic. Because world-class golf course attracts big corporate clientele. And, but the Achilles heel for them was you're an hour and a half away. So just think about it. If we ended up with working with the golf course executive and the development in the future, if we became a world class, that somebody could actually fly in here, get off the corporate jet, get on a golf cart technically, and go to the golf course, that doesn't happen in very many places. So we think it's the best interest. We got to look, it's an asset that's owned by the town of Stephenville. It's been managed and run very well by the executive. It'll continue to be managed very well, but let's just take our time before doing another long-term lease because of the signature growth that's coming with the town of Stephenville. So on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Is there anything late for planning?
Not to my knowledge.
Nothing? Okay. Any unfinished business?
What about bylaws?
Bylaws and regulations.
Oh, no bylaws and regulations? Yes.
We've got one
Just
there.
one, okay. Oh, yes. On
It's so
the,
unusual for us to have one lately, that's why.
Jesus. Susan, like I'm trying, I hope I adjourned this meeting properly.
We'll help you.
Look at.
You're gonna need it.
I keep taking off my glasses. I shouldn't do that, eh? Okay, we have one bylaw and regulation. This is an important one. It's discharging fireworks regulations, requesting approval that council accept the discharging fireworks regulations as presented. I'd ask somebody to move.
I'll move.
My
By
second.
Councillor Tracy Boland and seconded by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, let's go to item number 7, unfinished business.
I wanted to bring up one item, and that was having markers coming from on the highway in the winter time, because there's like 2 rights on, coming into Stephenville off the Trans-Canada. And there is a spot there, if you don't make sure that you do the 2 rights, you could end up into the ditch.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side. And when the snow is all covered, everything is white. So you don't exactly, you really don't know where the road is. And so I was wondering, I think we had mentioned it before. And we've never got a response back from transportation.
And Councillor, is that the exit from the Trans-Canada?
Yes.
Into White's Road?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's interesting in bringing it up as a piece of unfinished business because Colin and I, we had meetings with Grenfell University today. And when we were coming in, I was saying
That's it.
that this is a poorly
Yeah.
engineered design
It really
flaw.
Yeah.
Really
It
is.
hasn't been addressed by the Department of Transportation. And even if they put one of those plastic barrels with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or something there, heighten the visibility on that, especially like Councilor White said, in the winter time, because all you got to do to validate that we know it's a problem, work services must know, that's their business,
Yeah.
but obviously nobody seems to want to jump in and fix it. But all you got to do is check with the RCMP and check with Eddie's Auto Rescue.
Mm.
They're after responding to more accidents there than any place on the Hanson Island. It's technically a death trap.
If you go to any other places or provinces even, they got these long rectangular kind of orange and black with arrows going
Yeah.
like that.
Yes. They're like-
And they'll have them lined up so far, so there's no doubt about how you're getting in.
Yeah.
And I can't understand why we can't put something like that there.
Can we recommend to management that we get a letter drafted to I think it's Minister Lovelace, responsible for work services and transportation? Is it Lovelace? I think so.
There's actually a near miss there a couple weeks ago with children from St. George's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
way.
yeah, that's right.
Wow.
that's what I mean. That's
You know,
there,
yeah.
you can count the accidents, but you can't keep track of the near misses.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
So if we could get management to take care of that for us and maybe even adding to that, let's, Jennifer, can we put in a request to Minister Lovelace to, at our next planning meeting, to see if himself or members of his officials could zoom in and do a short Zoom meeting with us so we can discuss it? Maybe
Yeah,
2 weeks.
excuse me, Mr. Mayor, we need to get a light on Indian Head too.
Well, we can put that on the agenda too,
Yeah.
Jennifer, if we could put the off ramp from the Trans-Canada Highway into Route 460 as agenda item 1. And agenda item 2 would be lights over Indian Head between Stephenville Crossing and Stephenville on Route 490.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you can't get the minister, you'll get the deputy minister or assistant deputy minister, but it's nice to get them on the screen and just tell them the conversation that we're having now,
Yeah.
Okay, that's a very good one there, Councilor White, thank you. Any other unfinished business? Any new business?
I think you might have some new business there on the doctor situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, just a heads up on 2 things. We call her Dr. Ada. Can you pronounce her last name, Laura?
A while ago.
Awalagu, yes, Dr.
Awalagu.
Awalagu, and her husband actually called me, I think it was last night, just to thank council that they did receive their recruitment package from the town of Stephenville, and how very thankful they are, and that Stephenville is their new home.
Wow.
And it was so nice to hear.
Yeah.
But last week, we also got I got a text from a Dr. Tadros.
Yeah.
Who's a new full-time ER doctor in our emergency room, employed by Western Health. So I got the communication gone to Jennifer with his contract, and to Maurice Hines of the Legion, who administers our recruitment and retention. But he's got a significant amount of ER experience, and that will, I think, be our 4th or 5th doctor. Jennifer, can you?
Yeah, how many now?
Is it 4 or 5 that we?
No, they were looking for two more, so they have three now. They're looking for 2 more. So Dr. Tadros would be the 4th. I don't know if there's another one yet or not. But Dr. Tadros was here before.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, he worked down in where Dr. Lambswood's clinic is, or I call it Dr. Lambswood, but Bay St. George Medical Clinic. He worked down there before.
So with the recruitment too, how it works is that there's a complement of GPs for the Stephenville area. And once they hit the complement, that's it. So recruitment can only go so far. We're hoping to have 2 surgeons in the new year. That's what we're being told by Western Health. Keep our fingers crossed there, because just think about what's going to happen in April. There's going to be work camps with 1,200 workers working in heavy industry and very high trauma risk occupations. Having our emergency hospital with life-saving surgeons and surgical team supports is critical for this area and this region.
But Mr. Mayor, the problem is, and I said that in an email to David Palmer, but David is leaving and going to a different province. And I said, yeah, but what about the months in between? You got November, you got December, you got January. Are we going to be getting a relief surgeon from somewhere, locum or wherever, with the winter months coming on? I never got an answer back. Also, you know, we can't be sending off emails and not getting answers. That's not a good way to do business or whatever. So I don't know if there's anything that we can do, or even send a email off to Dr. Rajley, Tom, and ask him if there's going to be a relief. But not only that, Dr. Crechet don't have any backup help. He did on call for 41 days. He worked for 41 days without a break. What I mean by without a break is he didn't have anybody there to pick up if anything came up. He was the one that had to be there. And they did have 2 come out there during the summer, I guess it was, and they said they saw a lot of patients, and they did well, because they helped him out a lot. But he didn't know at the time that they were sending out 2 internists that didn't know that couldn't do stress testing. So he still had to do all the stress testing. So maybe you could say in your email then, is there going to be any relief for Dr. Crechet? Because that's just,
You can have as many surgeons as you want if you don't have the anesthesiologist.
Yeah, but he's not. He's the internist.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying in addition. What
Oh,
about?
in addition, yeah, we got 1 here now. I mean, the situation with the other one is, I'm told there was supposed to be news this week, but I never heard anything.
I think
2 years wait.
I'm hoping the next trip I get to make into St. John's, that I may set up a meeting with the Minister of Health and some of the deputy ministers, and just speak about what's happening at our 24-hour emergency hospital in Stephenville, or more importantly, maybe what's not happening from a management perspective, and just talk about the forecast of the demands on our system. And I'll try to get an update on the healthcare accord and the rollout of a single healthcare board. When is it going to happen? Is it going to show improvements to places like Stephenville? And remember, we're going to have major construction activity here. From Portabass gold mines to down under Rgm Highway into the mining, to Lower Cove, to World Energy. And we got a 24-hour emergency hospital here. We need to have the suite of surgeons and support teams to ensure that we have life-saving measures on a moment's notice when we need to save a life. And then it's the every other day thing that can happen from just a ruptured appendicitis or appendix and a motor vehicle accident or a trip and a fall that could, create events that somebody could lose their life. So you gotta keep pushing. I think I'll try to set something in St. John's. I'll get another email off to Dr. Ashley, and maybe it's time to meet the chair of the board, because this board is only interim, I guess, until the new board gets formed. I don't even know how active the Western Healthcare Board is right now. But let's do some follow-up, because if we don't, as a council, champion this, nobody will. So, we're elected to do a job, to represent the people, and healthcare is one of the most critical things that we have to do in this town. So,
Well, maybe Tom Osborne, minister, could do us get a meeting on Zoom.
yeah, maybe that might be an opportunity. So how does council feel about that? Should we
Yes.
request a meeting with
Yes.
Mr. Osborne?
Definitely.
If they
Yeah.
can't,
Looks like we're gonna be requesting a second meeting with Minister Osborne.
if they
Yeah.
can't, they're complimenting Stephen,
And I-
maybe they can move Corner Brooks Hospital closer to Stephenville.
He can take the same plane as Elvis Lovelace.
So let's set up two ministers and let's start dealing with some issues that impact our residents. Okay, that's
Yeah.
good work, Councillor Aylward.
Yeah,
One thing I just want to mention too is it's nice to see World Energy is advertising job positions here in Stephenville. And I've heard of a bunch of people that are excited about it. And I know people that are applying for those jobs. So I wish them the best as they do apply. But this is just a start. You can rest assured that their HR team will be doing job fairs eventually. Probably in Stephenville or other parts of Canada to draw in workers to come to work in Stephenville. But there's no doubt, I'm sure the unions who will be involved too have their own hiring halls and stuff like that and can respond to the needs, whether it's for pipe fitters or electricians and you name it. So it's exciting. Good times ahead.
it is, yes.
So any other business?
We had a
Okay,
good turnout. I think I need to say that we had a great turnout for Remembrance Day. We had such a beautiful day. I didn't get to the parade, but I did get to the Legion afterwards, and quite a few people there as well. So I think that we need to thank the Lord for our beautiful day that we had that day, because the next day it was wicked weather on the go, but it was nice to see such a crowd out.
I had the opportunity to go to the Remembrance Day dinner, and it's been 2 years without a Remembrance Day dinner because of COVID. But we just got back, both the town manager and myself, from Saint-Germain, France. And I got to say, it was pretty moving what they had set up for us. Because the deputy mayor in Saint-Germain was from Normandy. And she knew I was a veteran and Colin was a veteran. And part of one day we went to Normandy. And we had an opportunity to lay a wreath in a small town called Varaville. And the mayor was out. A former 2-star French general was out, who was there on Normandy. He's 97 years old.
Wow.
And it was really moving they were so appreciative to have the Canadians, because remember, the Canadians played such a pivotal role. What's interesting too is we all know Juno Beach where the Canadians landed. But remember, we weren't a part of Canada when the Newfoundlanders went in 1944. So the Canadians landed with the British. But it was the Canadians that actually liberated Verraville. And on the very day, June 6th, the landing of Overlord, 6 Canadians were killed from a shell from the Germans. They were held up in, I believe, a horse stable. And, but they had liberated the town. And the community has never forgotten that. They have a beautiful monument for those 6 Canadians who died that day. And then further on, we went down to the Canadian cemetery and we did a prayer. And we then went to the Juno Museum and we walked the beaches and felt the sand on Juno Beach where the Canadians landed, and got a tour of the pillboxes and stuff like that. But I gotta say, it was my first experience as a veteran being in Europe. But I gotta tell you, it's like while I was in Verraville around those hedges, and it's like I wanted to go back in time. It's like I wanted to be there and playing a part. There's something about it, you know. But it was pretty moving, and they were very, very hospitable. And I can't say enough about the trip to France, the relationships that we're going to build. But I can't say enough about the people and their generosity, their hospitality, and their kindness that they showed towards us. And they're very grateful for all Canada had done to liberate France. So pretty moving.
Well,
just-
while we're
add-
talking about that, on the subject of that, the wars and stuff, I talked to a lady the other day from here in Stephenville, and I can't get over what she told me. Remember that soldier that got killed, Pinskin from Cornerbrook, or
Yes.
Pinson from Cornerbrook?
Thanks.
Tom, do you remember that?
Pinkston, Corporal
Yes.
Pinkston, yeah.
Yeah. Well, her son was there when he got killed, and he had made a pact with his buddy, who was on vacation at the time, or away anyway, to, if anything happened to either one of them, he wanted him to be brought home to Corner Brook. And when he got killed, that buddy was away, like I said. And so then she was telling me her son was going to take on the responsibility of taking the remains back home. And as it happened, his buddy, the very same day that her son was going to do it, his buddy arrived back. So he did it. And she was telling me that they don't stay in the building when they're in conflict like that. They get on top of the roof of the building. That's what they do. But some of the things she was telling me, I could not believe it. And that's one of our own, right?
I just want to add as well, if I could, Councillor White and I went to Stephenville High on the day before Remembrance Day. And I have to, hats off to them. They put off an incredible Remembrance Day ceremony. It was very touching.
Was it videotaped, do you know?
Yes.
I'd love to see it. Is there any way that I could get it?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, Mark.
The school,
Stephenville High does have a videotape of that
yeah,
day.
they do.
But the whole thing was incredible, even the luncheon they provided. And so thanks to
It
Stephenville
was
High.
so,
for
it
sure.
was so moving. The gentleman sitting next to me, you know, he had
He
to
was
wipe
sobbing.
away his tears. And I can understand why. I wasn't in the war, but I felt deep down like he made me cry, because I almost could feel the pain that he was going through there.
When you think about it, the average age of Canadians who fought was 23 years old. The average age. They say, obviously, there's people lied about their age and or underage, but you know what? They say some of the older guys that would have bit of gray hair, they would dye their hair black to make
Yeah.
themselves look young because they wanted to fight also. So it shows the commitment. And, but you know, still today, our Canadian soldiers are there to defend our freedoms. And thank God Canada is supporting the Ukraine. They just announced another $500 million in aid to Ukraine to fight the war of aggression from Russia. Let's hope that that war ends sooner than later. But we have to stand up for freedoms. We're Canadians. We've done it in the past. We have to continue doing it in the future. So on that note, I would ask somebody to move that we adjourn the meeting. Moved by Councilor Tracy Boland, second.
Second.
Second, Councilor Myra White, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, for attending our public meeting, thank you.